Hello and welcome to a beautiful day in Wicklow, and happy Christmas to all my fellow prospectors the world over. So today is going to be a good day. A prospecting buddy texted me, said, hey, I got a new sluice box, I want to go test it out. Okay, so I just showed up with my pans and shovel and we just had at it for about an hour and a half. Show you just a second what that gold looks like. Yeah, so that's nice gold. I mean, there was some nice big pieces of gold down there. So what I've done now is I brought along my dreammat sluice box. That flare is off a different sluice box. In terms of the setup then I have today, you may remember this from the previous video, the Gold Magic 4000. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link up in the corner here. I think it's about 1 inch. So I mean, look at the size of that. Pretty much the size of the lens of the camera. In terms of digging equipment, I brought everything with me today. Okay, so first off, I have my cultivator, which you've probably seen before. I have my new True Temper pitchfork. Again, I'm not sponsored by True Temper, but hey, if True Temper want to sponsor me, go right for it. But this thing is an absolute beast. I was slicing through ground so fast the last day. And then of course I have my sucker tube. This is for getting into the little crack. So the plan now at the moment is I'm going to fill a bucket of 1/2 inch for the time being, get that to run through the sluice, get the sluice dialed in, put in 2 shovel loads, and once 2 shovel loads have gone through, screen it and just dump it straight on into the sluice box. So that's the plan. So the sluice box is set up, the ground is ready to go. Only one more thing left to do. Let's go find the shiny. Right, first thing I need to do is I need to check that the sluice box is working, and the way to do that is I'm going to fill up the bucket half full with gravel. So I'll just step out of frame for a second and show you how this works. So just behind the camera there is a section of bedrock. So what I'm doing is I'm chasing this hole right the way down to try and find the bedrock. Perfect. Right, okay, that's a little bit of gravel in there. There's not a whole lot of gravel in that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the pitchfork, and what I'm going to do is just slice up the ground. Now there is a lot of rocks in here, but it's way too cold. I mean, we're a couple of days from Christmas. It's way too cold to be putting my hand under the water. I do have long sleeve gloves on order, and when I get them, then I'll be able to get at those big rocks, take them out. For the time being, pitchfork and rake will do. So I can feel a big rock under here. Oh, that's gotten deep. Good stuff. So I hope everyone's having a nice Christmas dinner, not eating too much turkey, and just relaxing, because that's what Christmas is all about. Just chill out, relax, enjoy life. Yeah, a little. Right, we've used the pitchfork, we've used the cultivator. Now what you're going to do is go in with the shovel and try and get a full shovel load of dirt. Feels like we might have a full one now. Yeah, a lot of big rocks. A little bit of gravel in there. Because there's so much stuff to carry with me today, I just brought the one bucket. What the hell? What the? I picked up a rock sideways. Nice big lump of shale there. That's a good sign. Okay, got some dirt with that. Great stuff. So after we have the sluice box dialed in, then we'll be doing test panning. This looks some really good material, so I want to make sure there's gold in this, because it's hard old work to get it out of the ground. And usually I find in generally this area, once you hit the clay layer, you get no more gold. And probably realistically, I'm only down to my ankle there, so probably realistically only down less than a foot. Right, let's have a look at that. Okay, not a whole lot. We've got about a quarter bucket. We might as well run it. So let's just give this a go now. Yeah, that's working. But there we go, what was that, 10 seconds? And I've run a quarter of a bucket. The next plan, now that we've seen the sluice box is relatively running, I'm going to get the sluice box running perfectly, and then I'm going to come back to you and we're going to do some sample panning. Let's go find more shiny. Right, so I've managed to get the sluice box run absolutely perfect. What I've gone and done is I've opened up a nice little patch at the end. You can see where the water just falls off like a lovely curtain. That's exactly what you want with a sluice box. You want the water coming in and drop off. So it seems to be running absolutely fine. So the reason why I've got you on the head mount at the minute is I was going to do a test pan. So what I'm going to do now is just going to tip the water out of this, see where we're at. Oh yeah, that's about half a bucket actually. That's probably too much on the back of the bucket. I'll pan that out in a minute. Probably seen any of my videos before on how to pan. Now this is the Garrett Super Sluice. It's a bit different. First of all, we'll spin around, take it side to side, bring it all forward, tip out all the water. And what I always teach people to do on my courses is I'll cut a line in the riffle and just wash the stuff on the front of that riffle. Because you know, any gold we have is going to be back here. You can even see dark material back here as well. Perfect. Go back again. And then rinse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice I'm not stabbing it in the water. I'm only just put in the water and let the water gently, like a wave action. Just gently letting it wash out. I'm going to put that in. Got to make sure to rinse out the bucket thoroughly. So you want to make sure the bucket's nice and clean. And again, we're just going to work this on down, just spin around. All we're trying to do is make the gravel and sand and the water one slurry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm just going to speed this up a bit because there's only so many hours in the day, and I want to get down to the good stuff to see where to see if we're definitely on the gold. Alright, that'll do. So what I'll do is I'll push everything off to the corner, a good bit of water, tip the majority of water out, pump it off my hand. My hand stays perfectly still, and then we'll run around back. Just have a quick look, see if we're on the gold. Nope, we're not on the gold. Okay, well that tells me then that clay layer is the bottom of it. And there's a tiny speck there. There's a tiny speck of gold there. I'm not going to dig for that. You wouldn't even make it on the camera. One tiny micro dot of gold there. And I'm going to keep cracking on with this. I'm going to get on with sampling this area. I'm not doing a wide area sample like I would before. I'm not going to test there and there. I know there's gold coming from here, so I'm going to check the side walls, I'm going to check the gravel bar, I'm going to do them all individually. In fact, I'll probably just put them straight into a pan. Okay, so a bit of an update on things. I dug out of this section here, I ran a quarter bucket and I got gold out of it, dragged all the rocks and everything into that pond that I'd already dug out, and then I was able to shovel out there. I ran probably 3 half buckets of dirt and periodically testing. I got 1 piece of gold in the first pan, and periodically I test the bottom of the bucket and nothing. To be honest, I'm at that point which every prospector gets this when you're out digging. You get to that point of disheartenment. I've got a plan now. Chase the bedrock. Right, that's what I'll do. Let's do a bit of sampling first. Right, let's take some of this material straight off bedrock. The sucker tube is the only way to go when you're working bedrock. You can't get a shovel in there, no way. And the other alternative is I could just simply take all of that material, drag it right on there, and just run it. Do you know what? Given the lack of daylight, I think that's the best option. I got a little bit of gold here, there's gold there, we're on bedrock. Right, that's the plan. I'm going to carve this section, drag everything into there, and everything I get from here back to there, this whole section, just run it through the sluice. We've managed to run a total of 9 half buckets so far today. Excellent stuff. A couple of big rocks under here, so get them out of the way. So all we'll do is find a section where it's nice and loose. You also want to make sure every now and then to clear the classifier. So what we'll do is give it a good shake about. Nothing terribly exciting, although, just as I say that, there is something nice and exciting here. There's a nice lump of quartz. See that? That's good. Just going to clear that bucket first before I put this one in. Cool. I'll run this one down. So just going to throw a bit more water at that. As I said to you before, instead of having to get, if you only have your shovel to hand, say you're having to go off and get your pan or sucker tube, just take the shovel, just throw water at it. Simple as that. You're not necessarily trying to pick up the water and pour it, you just throw it at it. There you go, simple as that. Again, whatever is the simplest, easiest option to get you to the goal faster, that's what you do. Right. Right, there you go, look. There's a half bucket of gravel. So what we're going to do now is, we're going to go down to the sluice box and we're going to run this through. This will be bucket number 10. Right, so I'm officially flattened of energy. Nearly fell over twice there, bringing the bucket over. So you can see sluice running perfectly well. Yeah, it's running probably a bit quick. I'm down to, this will be bucket number 10. I think at this stage, considering I've nearly fallen over twice, I've run 10 half buckets. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to call it that. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sluice out of the water. First thing I'm going to do, take off this giant rock. Okay, that's not too bad. So it's now out of the water. So I'm going to bring it over onto the bank, undo the clamps, get that bucket full of water, and we'll get it cleaned out. Right, so I hope you can hear me over the noise of the waterfall. I found this little patch further upstream where I'm working, and I found I can sit down, which is handy after a long day digging, and I'll also be able to do this right. So pivot this backwards, tilt up the ramp, there we go, excellent stuff. Now, this is the most important part. We've got to get this mat into that bucket, and then we got to clean out the box. Now I have my pan here behind me, ready to go, so I don't have to get back up again. This is what I done. If you haven't seen the other video in which I used a dreammat, I said found gold in a famous river. I'll put a link to that up in the corner here. Cells. Yeah, that's all good. But I'm going to park this somewhere so it doesn't float away, and then what we'll do is I'll get some water into here, clean out the box, try and get this done. So pivot that up, bring that in, bring that down. Yeah, that works. But all just floating downstream. Right, here we go. That is not a lot of cons, feet out of the way. Right, let's work this right the way down. And again, I only put the camera off to save on battery while I was putting everything back in there. Hoping there's gold here. I ran 9.5, I'm on good ground. The last day we found amazing gold. We only ran a small amount of material. Okay, I see something yellow there, hopefully that's gold. Probably a bit too much material, but we'll have a quick sneak peek and then we'll see what's in here. Hopefully there's gold in here. Oh, there's gold in here, yeah, that's good. Oh wow, that's nice. So I just thought I'd give you a close-up shot, as promised, of the gold. I cleaned it down a bit more, pushed it all into one corner. Some nice chunky gold there. It's a nice gold. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pieces of the same size, and then a slightly bigger one. So look, not a whole lot of gold, but hey, it's some gold. And I got to test out a new sluice box and a new concept. So it means when I'm on a really good ground in future, I now know that I can run a half bucket in about 20 seconds. I get on good ground, I can get even more gold. Okay, time to pack up. See you there.